What's up, guys? Mickle here, and we just officially had the last filing in the Ripple SEC case. In this video, we are going to break this thing down, and I think you guys are going to like this video a lot because once again, it looks like the SEC has missed the mark big. In this video, I'm going to break down the entire filing as well as show you what the experts are saying about this thing. Guys, there's a lot to get into in this video. We're going to go over what the chances are that the SEC is going to appeal at the end, so make sure to stick around for this whole thing. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Guys, thank you to everyone who likes the videos and to subscribe to the channel. These two things really help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, I just wanted to start this video out with something quick that I think everyone needs to be paying attention to. What I found out earlier today is something that just makes me all the more confident that at the end of this, we are going to be on the right side of this journey. Guys, Nuner is one of the people I have debated a lot on whether or not XRP is going to be a successful digital asset. He's always saying that XRP is completely pointless. Well, I hit him with the cold hard facts that XRP is one of the few cryptocurrencies actually gaining real world adoption. Well, guys, earlier today, Nuner decided he was going to launch his own meme coin called Gummy that will no doubt rug pull all his followers. Guys, this is just another example of the dumbest people in the room not understanding XRP. Nuner, the guy right now who is issuing a meme coin that is no doubt just to raise money from his followers and dump on them, he's the one who has constantly said that XRP has no purpose and XRP is a scam. Guys, this shows you that the biggest influencers in crypto have no idea what they're talking about. They are constantly shilling whatever makes them money, and they could care less about actually investing in the future. On this channel, we are focused on the digital assets that are going to make a change to the financial system. The digital assets that are getting real world adoption that are going to change the world for the better, create more efficient rails to move money all around the world in fractions of a second. Guys, those are the kinds of things I am focused on because I believe those are going to be the next Googles, the next Nvidias, the next Apples, the next Amazons. Meanwhile, Nuner is focused on the pets.com. I just want to bring this to your attention because this is one of the people who spreads the most FUD. This is one of the people who shakes people out. And guys, when you actually break down what they are doing versus what we are doing, it should show you a stark difference of the education in this space. I truly believe the XRP investors are the smartest investors out there. And guys, it's because we can look at stuff like this, know it's dumb, and these are the people who are saying we're the dumb ones. It really opens your eyes to the credibility of some of these people in the space. Guys, I have never been more confident we are on the right path. I want to move on though and jump into the Ripple SEC case because at the end of the day, that's what this video is supposed to be about. Guys, it is so nice that we are finally on the last filing in this case. It has been a crazy journey, but we are finally here. Now, I want to point out a couple of things I noticed from this filing and then get into what some of the experts were saying and then get into whether or not I think the SEC is going to appeal. So let's start off with something that I thought was hilarious, and that is that the SEC is now complaining about Ripple's new stablecoin. Now, what's so funny about this is Ripple's stablecoin was not even part of this case. So the SEC bringing this up in this filing just shows that they're salty. It just shows the fact that they're litigating this case on emotion rather than facts. Guys, they say right here that Ripple now plans to issue a new under-registered crypto asset security. But what we know is stablecoins are the furthest thing from securities out there. They don't create any profit and therefore fail one of the prongs of the Howey test blatantly. And the other thing that's so funny is right now Congress is pushing forward stablecoin bills, and none of the stablecoin bills even mention the SEC. So right here we see the SEC just trying to play on the judge's emotion, just trying to take a slap at Ripple. And guys, I think this is going to fail miserably. Why would you waste precious space in a court filing saying something that's not even relevant to the case? It just shows that the SEC lawyers are once again litigating out of emotion, throwing whatever they can at the wall, seeing what sticks, and just trying to paint Ripple in a bad light. Guys, the SEC is doing anything in their power to make Ripple look like the bad guy. But one thing they didn't do was allege Ripple committed fraud. And the other thing they did was drop the fraud charges that were against Brad and Chris. Guys, this is the SEC just trying to paint Ripple in a bad light. Ultimately, I think Judge Torres is going to see right through it and laugh at the fact that the SEC is now talking about things that aren't even relevant to the case itself. The other thing about this that I thought was interesting, not directly related to the case though, is that Matt Roslin, a former Ripple employee, actually said that this could be the reason Ripple bought Standard Custody, a subsidiary now of Ripple, because he said that when he was doing a lot of the talks around issuing his own stablecoin, a lot of people told him if you issued the stablecoin from a trust, it looked a lot less like a security. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because it might have been a reason Ripple actually ended up buying Standard Custody in order to actually manage the stablecoin, and then this would make the argument even harder for the SEC because then Ripple's not actually even issuing the stable coin. It's a trust company under Ripple. Ultimately, it's irrelevant because it's not even part of the case, but I just hope this shows you that one, Standard Custody might have a place in Ripple's new stablecoin, and two, the SEC is now relying on arguments that aren't even relevant to the case. Let's move on though and get into something else I thought was really interesting. One of the things Ripple made very clear in their filing to the court was that the rest of the world has given them clarity, right? The rest of the world is saying XRP is not a security, and the SEC is here saying it is. Now, Judge Torres already said XRP is not a security, so it's kind of funny that the SEC has kind of gone back and forth on this argument throughout the case. But one thing that they brought up in the case that I thought just kind of sounded ridiculous and a little bit like a third grader wrote it was this sentence right here. The SEC says that the argument Ripple is bringing forth about essentially other jurisdictions saying that XRP is not a security is akin to saying a New York restaurant need not to obtain a liquor license because it obtained a fishing license in California. Now, guys, I thought this was really, really dumb and just a bad analogy. To be honest, I'm still scratching my head sitting here trying to understand what that analogy was supposed to mean. It just doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me because obviously a fishing license and a restaurant license are completely different. And what Ripple's saying is, hey, everyone in the world is looking at XRP as not a security and the SEC is. So it just seems like a really bad analogy and kind of goes back to a point I've been saying a lot on the channel, which is that the SEC guys doesn't have very good lawyers. Most of the smartest people in crypto don't want to work for the SEC. They want to work for the cryptocurrency companies. The cryptocurrency companies are innovating and they pay a lot more when it comes to salary. The SEC lawyers are all the people who can't get jobs anywhere else, or likely the lawyers, right, who just want to try to harm different people in the industry. Ultimately, I don't think this is the best and brightest, and I think this analogy just shows that Ripple has the top talent and the SEC has everyone else. Guys, the SEC throughout this entire case has done a horrible job of litigating, and this has been pointed out by many professionals. I think this is just another example that shows us we are so lucky Ripple had the resources to hire a top law firm to fight the SEC. Guys, anyone who says that Ripple should have just burned the escrow, I think are looking like fools right now. Ripple used the escrow to fight against the SEC, get clarity for XRP, which is so unbelievably valuable for this ecosystem going forward. The next thing we need to talk about is obviously Ripple's ODL sales. In my opinion, this is the most important thing in the case right now. The SEC is essentially saying that Ripple's ODL sales, despite the fact that they're structured without a lot of the things like lockup, should still be securities. Ripple is arguing they shouldn't be securities. And guys, I believe this is the biggest issue left in the case by far. I want Judge Torres to make it clear that Ripple can continue doing ODL in the United States using XRP as long as they don't do lockups or anything like that. In my opinion, this should make XRP not a security because it's solely being used for utility. Right now, there is definitely some gray area around this, and there is no doubt in my mind that Judge Torres is going to address this. I am fairly confident Judge Torres is going to carve out ODL sales and allow Ripple to keep doing ODL in the United States. But there is no doubt, in my opinion, this is the biggest issue left in the case, so I wanted to bring it to your attention right here. This is what we need Ripple to win big on. I'm not really focused on the fine because I know Ripple can pay it no matter what. The SEC wants $2 billion. They're never going to get that. Even if the SEC got $1 billion, Ripple could pay it. They're never going to get that either. They're probably going to make Ripple pay $100 million, which Ripple could pay like pocket change. So I could care less about the fine. What I want is for Judge Torres to carve out ODL sales. She will make a decision on ODL sales in her next ruling. We just want to make sure that she allows them to happen in the United States. I am very confident she will. So guys, with all of that said, I want to show you what Jeremy Hogan had to say about all of this because I'm not a lawyer. I can break down things I've found interesting, but I think his opinion is critical here. Jeremy Hogan says the Ripple SEC case briefs are finished, and I think the SEC went out here here with a whimper. It didn't even try to attack ODL sales, just noting that Ripple was trying to relitigate the issue, which it is, and brought up nothing new on damages, just waiting for the judge now. So guys, I think this is an excellent sign. Jeremy Hogan has been extremely accurate throughout the case, and he is once again saying that the SEC has failed to deliver in this brief. The SEC seems to just recite a bunch of arguments, doesn't bring anything new, and throughout this entire case, we have been left asking the question, when is the SEC going to bring something forward that is damaging to Ripple? When is the SEC going to find something that Ripple did wrong? And throughout this entire case, it's just been the SEC's wrong opinion that XRP is a security. Guys, Jeremy Hogan brings something forward here that I think is really important. The SEC brought bad facts to this case, and those facts aren't changing. The SEC has continued to try to slander Ripple, to try to bring up things that don't matter, like the new stablecoin, because they can't get around the fact that the facts themselves are not on the SEC side. Guys, this is the most important thing I am taking away from this case at this moment. I really do question if the SEC can take this to the Second Circuit with the facts they have now. One of the things that makes me confident that the SEC is going to have a hard time appealing this is the fact that they can't bring new facts forward. Guys, the biggest issue for the SEC in this case is not the judge, it's the facts. They don't have anything that proves Ripple is egregiously violating securities law, and I believe that is a massive issue for them. I believe Ripple is going to get a slap on the wrist. Judge Torres is going to carve out ODL sales, and the SEC is going to choose to fight the Coinbase case at the Second Circuit rather than the Ripple case. It just doesn't make sense for them to keep going after XRP with no facts on their side. They're better off going after exchanges that look like brokerages. They're better off going after staking that looks like yield generating products that are typical of other SEC investments. But there is just so little with Ripple or XRP that looks at all like a security. And once again, people like Jeremy Hogan are sitting there scratching their head saying, how is this the best the SEC got? Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.